Keymaster.
Away with you! I banish you to non-existence. Let me just wait. Give me a second here. Wow! There we go. He gets to be in the darkness corner for a minute.
We suddenly have Waluigi in the chat? Like, what?
That's right, I have to open
Waluigi!
Twitch chat. That's probably another thing I should do.
Oh, you.
It has been a weird day of stuff. Hi, everybody.
Waluigi.
You want me to send you back to the darkness? I'm going to send you back to the darkness. You can just enjoy until we're done intros.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Welcome to Children of Rath. We're playing D&D, 5th edition. We're in Dominaria, which is a Magic the Gathering world. Let's see if Claude behaves himself. God. So, if you missed our crazy adventures last week, there was plot. I know, it's exciting. Plot occurred. It never occurs in this show. But no, indeed plot occurred. Our characters found themselves in the village of Kor of Mistress Wynrtris' family, who's unfortunately not going to be able to join us today because of unfortunate work scheduling. Sudden work scheduling. That was not beyond her control. But regardless, though, once in the village, they spent some time with the Kor. Some kind of large cat-lion creatures, ligers, came to the valley that the village was in and threatened them. Of course, this spurred a group of the Kor to go and attack them and eliminate them, either to drive them out or kill them. Because if they were in their hunting grounds, they'd be a threat to them and their ability to survive through the seasons. It turns out, though, that unfortunately they were under the control of someone. Someone had forced them into the area. And so two of the beasts attacked the village while everybody was gone, along with a man who identified himself as Vor, the Exile. A strange shadowy Kor who proceeded to wound and poison Wynrtris' brother and break into their house in order to steal a bunch of stuff. Fortunately, some of your team got back in time, was able to help out those that were injured, and Carrie was able to save Wynrtris' brother and drive off Vor. Or at least distract him long enough that he didn't do anything else very evil. He apparently got what he wanted, though. Strange artifact.
Which he ate.
No.
Is that a vor joke? Are you making a vor joke?
No, he ate the crystal. He didn't eat the artifact.
Yeah.
But yes, he does vor crystals.
Accurate. And so, yeah. He ate the crystal, and then kind of just disappeared into the shadows, leaving you to pick up the pieces, which you did. It seems that Wynrtris' father is inspired to follow his youngest son's advice. His youngest son's advice was to begin to change the way that the Kor had been doing things. The Kor tribes of this mountain range have been all very nomadic, living in various areas between seasons. And unfortunately there are parts of the tribe which, suffer more from that, especially for development and stuff. And so the idea is maybe, keep smaller hunting groups as more seasonal people traveling to areas, but come up with a central place for a lot of things like blacksmiths and craftsmen to work throughout the seasons. And perhaps go to the other tribe groups with this idea now, especially after this attack. So, you spend a few more days with the tribe, helping them recover, rebuild, put things back together. The Ligers, since you did go back and claim them, will prove to be pretty much inviolable. The fact is that all of them got killed off, even though there were those that were lost. We'll provide a large amount of meat that they can then preserve, smoke, dry, things like that. Their pelts are exquisite. Most of them are in decent shape. and their pelts can be used to make a lot of very tough leather goods. They tend to be very tough pelts. So there's a lot of good that can come out of it. But as dangerous creatures, there's no way they would have hunted them if they had the choice. After those few days, though, it comes to the time that Wynrtris was planning for all of you to leave. She tends to spend the time with her family. Now, the rest of you can spend it how you will, but you've already discussed kind of what happened there. And it almost makes your initial mission a little bit more urgent, as there are now more forces at work. Dangerous forces. After those days, though, you pack up and prepare to head on. Wynrtris can lead you to the next major road. If you have plans to head south into the Kb'brian Highlands, that would be the direction you want to go. Carrie, you know the Kb'brian Highlands is where your small village is. The Kb'brian Highlands are controlled by a number of warrior clans. Think kind of a little Scottish-y, you know, like the clans of Scotland. And they are Benalia Protectorate. So effectively they are technically not Benalian citizens within the Highlands, but Benalia being the major military force and kind of having led Ariona to victory against a lot of horrible onslaughts. The warrior clans are more than fine with, you know, having their protectorate status. It's been generations since things happened, and, you know, things are certainly fine in this area for that kind of thing. Since some of the destructions hit both groups, and they rebuilt together. Of course, you do know that the Sutter River divides the region, but as far as you know, with the path you're taking, you're going to be going into the part of the area on the east side of the Sutter River. So you'd have to cross the Sutter River before heading to Benalia. Farther south is, of course, Duskwood, but you're not going to worry about that. You're not Dirkwood. You're not heading that far down. And of course, you'd have to head east to head back to Llanowar if you wanted to. But you're not also doing that either. I will let you two know, and just for a note towards Wynrtris, the village that ended up getting burnt down was south of Dirkwood. So you're not going anywhere near it.
With the village that you burnt down while you were in jail.
Yeah, that Wynrtris.
I was in jail. Wynrtris burnt it down.
Uh-huh.
I think we totally should pay a visit to that village.
I wanted to make sure you meant that village and not the orc village that we burned down.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, there's a lot of village burning. And only one of them was an accident.
How on earth does something like that happen by accident?
Ask Mrs. O'Leary's cow.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, the Great Chicago Fire.
Goddamn
Listen.
cows setting fire to cities.
Carrie takes no responsibility. She was currently in jail and intoxicated. Wynrtris burned the village down.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, regardless, it was like the first village on the caravan route that would take you back towards Sorcery. So that caravan route that you separated from would have eventually led you to the village that you technically were involved with the burning of. Involved with. Technicalities.
There is no proof. There is absolutely no goddamn proof. Carrie did
That's
nothing.
the Kazran way of thinking about it. You can't prove anything.
That's why you don't let Wynrtris drink anymore.
No, that's why Wynrtris and Carrie can't drink together anymore.
Because when they're both drunk, bad
That's
things
when
happen.
bad things.
Yeah. They needed a designated smart person.
Yeah, and usually it's supposed to be Carrie, but it usually ends up being
Not when
Wynrtris
she's
somehow.
drunk.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, you do have to backtrack a little bit to get to the trail you needed. Again, because the Hurlin Mountains are a complex mess of old trade routes and a few roads that are used for trade. There is a major route that heads into the Red Iron Mountains, of course, for connecting in with the Benign Kingdom. And there is one that heads farther south into the Highlands itself. But you have to backtrack a little bit. Not quite all the way back to that Hurlun village that you visited, the one that seems to be the center of trade with the Hurlun tribes here in the mountains. But you do have to backtrack a ways in order to get to it. So it will be, with the extra travel, it'll probably be about 3 or 4 days of travel within the mountains themselves. Because it is like at least a day and a half backtracking you have to do. It's just because of the nature of where her village is. It's not on major trade routes. It's up in it's up in a mountainous region that tends to be, you know, there's reasons why other people don't live there. It's difficult to live in. And that's why the Kors live there, because they're adapted to it. Anyway, you will be able to come back to the major trade routes, and then start heading south again. Along those roads, you definitely can see signs of other people at that point in time once you hit the major trade route. Something that you actually hadn't done since you parted with the caravan. When you were with the caravan, you kind of were with a group of travelers. You didn't really see signs of others along the caravan route, but it was like a well-traveled route. And up until now, you've kind of been wandering around, either in forests or mountain areas, which are incredibly dangerous. This is like the first time you've been on a route where you're seeing signs of other people coming up from the south, who are perhaps coming up to trade with the Minotaurs, or maybe the dwarfs farther to the north. It's not a lot of people. Yeah, wait, were you saying something?
I was saying, by the way, Carrie, is there anything we should know
Yeah.
about your village? Anything that we should be cautious about?
Not necessarily. Kind of boring, honestly. It's the reason I left.
Okay, just making sure. Wanted to make sure there's none of those cultists around.
Oh, listen,
Scary shadow
I
folk
don't know.
either.
I haven't been there in about a decade. Less than a decade, but I haven't been there in a good while.
Interesting. I haven't visited the Highlands for some time myself.
Sure. Okay,
He's
then.
been everywhere. Come on.
Especially around Ariona. I mean, when you deal with folks from some of the other regions, I mean, I did work with the Benalians. You think I mentioned that before. So of course I would have traveled to some of the other regions under the Protectors, especially for things like trade and meeting with folks. Back in the day,
2,000 years, you get around.
and back in the day, there was once a powerful group known as the Order of the Closed Fist that once controlled the region. Since then, they unfortunately, fallen off. They don't really exist anymore. I would say that they are technically extinct, but I believe some of the warriors within the Highlands still follow their orders, even though the exact knightly order and that sort of organization doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. Some of those ideals still exist. Or at least that's what I've heard. Which village are we heading to? I've only been to a few, and again, it's a long time ago, so it might be even a new village, or completely changed if it's one that I have been to.
Would you believe me if that's the one thing I forgot to do was name the village?
Nice. That's kind of important. Too.
I wrote 2 pages and then
Give me a
forgot
second
to
here.
fucking name the village.
Give me a second here.
Gotta pull up the name generator real quick and
Its
Its
name
Give me a second here.
its name is Bengay Does Crime.
Sounds
Valid.
It's Kilnacree.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There we go. Kilnacree.
Stop killing Cree.
No.
I will never kill McCree. He's my baby. So.
We're gonna
that was
kill
a bit of a
McCree.
joke.
There we go. I might need that.
Now the village is...
Now the village is named. I might need this. Good old name generators that I can quickly access.
Good old fantasynamegenerators.com.
No! That was a different one. This was Scottish place name generator. Because it's the
You know-
Highlands. It's the Highlands. They're gonna sound Scottish. At least that's in my mind now. And
Alright.
it is the Kb'brian Highlands. That's how it's spelled. The KB' Brian Highlands. It's probably very Scottish there.
Yeah.
Beat me up.
No. You're not getting any beaming.
I've never actually said that.
Beat me up, he adds. He never said exactly the phrase "beat me up, Scotty." Scotty beat me up and all different variations, just not that particular phrase.
I would have figured he would just say energize.
No, beat me up. It was used quite often.
The more you know.
Trust the Star Trek geek.
I need the like star flying across thing, the star wipe up like doo 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 when I move my hand like that. Anyway. Well, after about that, those like 4.5 days. Well, actually, after about 4 days, you will noticeably be heading out of the mountains. Unlike when it was heading into the Ironclaw Mountains, where it was much more of a subtle thing moving into the mountains, it is much more stark and rapid. The road you're going on down there is windy. It is steep. Not steep enough that like carts and horses and stuff can't go either direction on it. But you can sense that it definitely like it has had to have been like carved into the mountains to make this road actually like usable. Because like there's a lot of like sheer cliffs in various regions as you're kind of like going by it here. You are descending rapidly in height. Granted, you're going to be up in the Highlands, which will still be elevated, but you are finally getting like out of this like high upper mountain ranges that was the Hurloon Mountains that had like very high elevations into like at least reasonable elevations to most of you folks. Kaz, it's your shiv. It's volcanoes. I mean, you don't live on the volcanoes, so I mean,
He lives in them.
it's probably mountainous, but like you know, the high mountains are the ones that set everything on fire.
You can generally tell which ones will set things on fire. If there's smoke, that's how you know.
Yeah, that's why you're like, guess I gotta move the house. Again.
You don't want to get barbecued.
No.
I hate when I have to move my house.
Again. After
The other
that,
option is better.
you know, the other option is like fire and burning and painfulness and skin melting and etc., very unpleasantness. You're gonna go, you see that like, when you finally are getting down here, this area is massive amounts of like open kind of hilly fields, with relatively like, I would say it's not like tall grass, You've encountered tall grass before. This is like grass that's like maybe like, you know, knee-high at most. So kind of like a scrubby grass, like over across these hills. You can actually see a large herd of grazing animals. Something that looks akin to some kind of like large sheep. Except it's kind of got like spines down the center of its back, coming back like so it's kind of got like the spike spined. And like you can see that like the females most likely have these smaller horns, while the males have these like combination of like ram horns that are also like spining out in like weird ways, so they're almost like ram antlers, you could almost call them.
Rantlers?
Yeah. The road begins to wind in there as you're actually coming down, as you get down there, into like a small village. Carrie, you know that your village, the one that you ended up settling on, is much farther to the south, kind of on the edge of the mountainlands, or the hill lands, when things get to kind of flatten out a little bit. It's on the edge of one of the many forests in this region, kind of just because of that, like, forest mist reminded your father of home, since Urborg tends to be a lot more tree, even though it's also kind of swampy tree, so I mean, like, it has more trees still.
So we found the moors?
Yeah, you kind of found the moors. So it will be another couple of days' journey at this point in time. But as you're coming down after the village, it is getting to be evening. You can press on for a little while longer and settle down, or you could stop by this small village. Up to you. It is along the main path at least, the main road. Carrie, you will know that you will have to separate out from the main trade route here at some point in time in order to get to your village. But you think you can travel. You know enough about this region, at very least, to know generally how to get home from here.
Do we know what this village is famous for, or?
This is the village of...
Friendly?
It's the village of Rosmore. It's oftentimes the, traditionally, it used to be the host to a set of Highland games for the warrior clans. But as the clans ended up moving throughout the Highlands, this is like the current warrior clans were up in this region more. And it was during the like the invasion and stuff that a lot of the lands were kind of ravaged. And most of those survivors were up in these mountain regions here, or these hill regions here. So there was a number of these places that would have like seasonal games. Rosmore is known to be having one of the few places that still has it. It ends up being only village games at this point in time, but they do the traditional games of the Highlands. There are a couple of other villages that have them on their own, but most of the clans tend to have their own traditions on that. There hasn't been an organized games in quite a while. So yeah, they're known for having like these games, and they have like kind of area set up for them. They're also known for having a very good teaberry wine.
Ooh. Kaz likes wine.
If you want to roll knowledge local, you can see if there's anything else they're known about, because those are the big famous details that would be easy for anybody that could have heard about this. And this is probably what Carrie could tell you, because he's from this region.
Knowledge local isn't it?
Yeah, there's history.
Oh, sorry, history. Oh my god, I was doing Pathfinder earlier this week and just got caught up in Pathfinder. I forget what, I think history's the one to do.
I think 3.5 used to have local.
So did Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Pathfinder still
I think
has
so does
local.
Genesis.
Yeah.
I got 19 in history.
Yeah. Freaking. My brain there broke about all the different skills there for a second. All right. Yeah.
The knowledge part.
Kaz, you also know that there is a famous ruins of some kind of standing stones in this area. And also, there's rumors of a haunted mine.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I like haunted shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna Scooby the fuck out of this.
Mm-hmm. You heard that ghost in the background.
Haven't we had this discussion before about which one of us is which in Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, we have. I don't remember how we settled it.
I don't know. I pull his mask off, and apparently there's a little girl.
I think Carrion was Velma because lesbian nerd.
Probably. I
assume I'm
remember who
Shaggy.
the fuck was.
Yeah, probably.
Let me be Scooby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, that means that Kaz is friend.
No, that's a Scooby-Doo.
No. I refuse
Yes.
to be Scrappy Doo.
Actually, you know what? Kaz kind of is Fred, though. You set up all the traps.
Fuck, I do.
Does that make Wynrtris Daphne?
Yeah, because Wynrtris is
By
just...
default, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
No.
No.
We need some fan art of all of us as the Scooby-Doo or the Mystery Inc. Gang.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I could look like Scooby-Doo.
Maybe
Mhm.
we'll commission Bubbly for that.
Oh god. Anyway, are we staying the night?
I'm
There's a
up for
local in there.
Probably makes more sense than traveling in the dark. And then just camping in our cart.
Yeah. All right. Let's. Okay. So, coming into town, you will see the Deranged Lord pub and inn.
I don't know if I want to stay at a pub named Deranged Lord.
Could be fun. Maybe it's themed.
Oh, great! We're seen with a real deranged lord who's gonna kick your ass for no reason.
Well, I mean, that seems to be the major inn in town. You could try looking for something out, but that's the one that you found on the main road. It seems happening. There's a lot of places in there. You can hear music going on. You can hear this strange music that seems to be this kind of like almost squealing dog or dying thing, which Carrie recognizes. Bagpipes.
Yes, we figured. It's just a bunch of ordnance attached to a sheep's stomach.
Hey, Kaz, you want to go get drunk?
Yes, I would love to go get drunk.
Let's go get drunk.
Let's go get drunk.
I'm at 19 hit points.
What about the rest of us?
Uh-huh.
The rest of you can't get drunk!
I've gotten drunk before.
It's taking you a lot.
Very difficult.
I would
Yes, and
also
Carrie
like
has-
to partake in the bar activities.
Aye, welcome, travelers. Welcome, come on in, come on in. Oi, you gents, set up some space for the ladies and gentlemen. Come on, sit at the bar, sit at the bar. Looks like we got some folks staying here in town. Welcome, welcome. There's like a lot of burly men with huge beards. They kind of have these like almost kind of sashed shirts with this kind of like shorts where the ends of them are kind of frilled out. So they're kind of wearing like weird like shorts kilt hybrids.
Shilts.
Shilts.
No.
No. Gives their lower legs a nice breeze. And their thighs. Thigh breeze.
Yeah.
And some other things we're not going to.
Uh-huh. Anyway,
Don't make me go get my coat.
there's a lot of there's a couple of like a band of like 4 of these men with these kind of strange sacks that they're blowing into with like things and making weird noises. There seems to be this these are all very large, buff people, you know. There's this like very beautiful like burly woman that's up there like kind of singing a song to go along with like the bagpipe music. And there's a lot of people kind of kind of going along with it, swaying, you know, kind of like doing that like da, 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 you know, they're kind of like making noises along with it even though they're not actually singing, you know. The Dominaria place is boisterous. It's a party place. There's people coming in and out at all times. And yeah, people make room for all of you at the bar. Like, it's definitely a large area. You can see that there's like a set of stairs that seems to lead up to wherever rooms are. So, what brings you into town? Here.
A night's rest and some alcohol.
Most
here
of
you
the
go,
alcohol.
travelers.
I'm here to join in on the music festivities. May I
here for the
partake in this?
God.
Feel free to join in with them.
All right,
Pick
I
the
walk
song
up
right
to them
away.
and start getting my loot ready.
Okay. All right.
I am not going to join you this time.
I'm here to drink. I've heard you have some lovely wine.
That we do. Here you go. For our new friends, one's on the house.
I like this place. I enjoy this. This is good.
So, where are you heading to, travelers?
South.
Down along the road. Anywhere in particular you're heading for?
I lived around here a while back. Going home.
Well, lass, it's good to see you back home again. It can be hard to travel to all kinds of places. Feel free to drink up and enjoy the festivities. And if you need a room to stay, it's just 5 silver for a private room, or 2 silvers for the attic common room. Just let me know what you want to do.
How many privates do you have?
Whoa, we got 8.
I didn't even think about it that way.
I heard
You
it.
did say it that way.
I heard it and ignored it. I chose to just go along with it. Mm-hmm.
I'm a child, so I didn't ignore it.
And until after it came out of my mouth, then I'm like, should have phrased that a little bit better.
Should have. Oh well. We got 8 rooms. Beds enough for 2 or 1, your choice. A little snug with 2, but could probably fit you. Especially the small one of the
So I am rather. That's fair.
All of our parties with us, right? Like Lotula and everything.
Mm-hmm.
How many people we got total?
A lot.
Jesus.
You got the 5
There's
with
the
you.
5 party members.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we still have our carriage, right?
You do have strawberry carriage. And 4
Okay.
NPCs.
Is that including Nim?
That includes Nim.
Nim would take care of himself.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about him.
He'll get rid of
Moon, Radiant.
I'll watch the
Radiant.
carriage if I don't have to sleep.
That'd be 8.
Mm-hmm.
So 2.
Did you subtract me? Because like I don't need to sleep and I could just watch our ride.
Yeah, but you hold on.
All right.
So it would be 4 gold for if we want to double up people, and we could have private rooms. I'll pay for it.
Mhm.
I have money that I've been saving.
Why, thank you.
We all do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
have
have
909 gold.
Well, dinner's part of the room. Breakfast is too. And if you need a snack for the road, just let me know.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I feel generous today.
How about we start with some more drinks?
Yeah, I don't feel drunk enough yet.
Another round of it is. It's good tea berry wine. It's kind of like it's a very sweet wine. It's got kind of got some floral notes to it, but it definitely feels like it's a little more alcoholic than your average wine. It's not quite that elven wine because they know how to really get it out there, you know, like elven wines. But it certainly like has a punch to it. Still, you can feel.
What other drinks do they have?
They probably have like a grain ale.
Probably scotch.
Yeah, definitely some like hard liquors.
I'm gonna go for the local liquor.
Okay. They'll have something, you know, like a scotch or something. You know, they could definitely pour you a shot of.
Sure. Actually, 3. 1 for each of us.
Huh.
Like it
All
is.
3 of us are trying to get drunk.
The drinking and partying goes on for quite a while. Maxwell, I'm gonna need you to make me a perform check. Let's see how well you do it. I'm gonna say at this point in time, because it's a very different type of music, just roll me a perform with disadvantage. Because it's less that you're performing well, and more how well you can perform and match with them.
Question. What if I try to mimic the bagpipes?
Huh?
Would that affect my performance?
Out your mouth.
Out your mouth?
I don't know. What if I try to ask them if they can hand me the bagpipes?
If they got an extra set of them?
Yeah. Would that still give me disadvantage or no?
You've never used the instrument before, so I'd say for now it would probably also give you disadvantage.
Okay, I'll stick with the loot then.
Yeah, 'cause-
And
12. It's not an
Okay.
epic performance, but it's not terrible either. It certainly
Keep pace.
you manage to keep pace with it. You keep with it decently. It definitely is a very like the instrument's interesting too, and you can kind of get a hold of like how the instrument works. It's like it's sort of like trying to like think about how the ordinin worked because it was kind of like a weird instrument too. You're learning a little bit about it, but you're definitely like struggling to you end up being more background than actually like forefront. I'll say definitely, but you'll perform with them.
You need to get a fiddle.
Gotta do it.
At a certain point in time, though, they will actually stop. And one of them, "Hey, loot boy, put on something cheery, something to dance to."
Pray tell, what do you have in mind?
Tune up your tunes. You got that their stringing instrument. Show it off.
It would be an
Giving
honor.
it solo.
Mhm.
Do I roll again?
Roll again, no disadvantage this time.
Fingers crossed. This is where I just botch it, isn't it? Oh, I did persuasion. Oops.
Oh, that was a persuasion.
Oh,
Then roll a performance instead, not a persuasion.
Oh!
There we go.
Okay.
Thank you.
You start strumming up like a very like kind of powerful song, and the woman then starts singing along with you, and then just all this clapping and stuff starts to happen, and then you see a bunch of them like get in like doing like a dance in the center, like as like almost like a dance floor opens up as they're gonna be doing these like jigs to it for a while and stuff too. And there's just like a lot of stomping and clapping, and like a lot of boisterous noises going on for like quite a while, as you like go in through like your epic songs for a while, and the rest of you get really hammered. Radiant will be your designated non-drinker for a while. Wynrtris will probably I'm gonna say Wynrtris is probably gonna spend some time on her own, just to like a little bit of digesting what happened with her family. She's going to her room. The Tulips is going to go to rest too, and so is Nim.
All
Do you
right.
need any con saves?
I'm just going to assume at some point in time you all will fail.
That's also why I went to the stronger stuff.
Eventually, we will fail.
Yes. I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to say eventually you're all going to get wasted at some point in time, if that's what you're going for.
It
Yes.
is what I'm looking to have a much more fun version of what we did in the Elven city.
Uh-huh.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. So all of you will drink for a while, and eventually, like, as all of you are definitely becoming shit-faced, Radiant will escort you to your rooms, and will kind of, like, make sure everybody's fine. Eventually the night will begin to die down. I guess none of you got any food for dinner?
No, the food was provided. We probably ate.
Then you will have, the main dish for tonight is war sheep haggis.
Ooh.
Sounds spicy.
Mm-hmm. It's wild war sheep haggis. The farm-made stuff is pretty good, but not quite as good as the stuff from the wildlands in the north. They got a certain extra gaminess to them, especially when you get some chunks of the heart. It's also like, it's like a dish that's like very large too, so it's like, when he brings it out rather than a plate for someone, he kind of like brings out a huge chunk of it and like kind of slaps off like big old like pieces of it, and kind of then like you'll see what he is like each time he like cuts off a piece, he kind of like balls it up more into the stomach piece that he cut it with, you know. So almost he like rewraps them right then and there for you to create like, you know, from this like much larger animal, because obviously those like kind of like wild war sheeps that you saw to the north are kind of much larger than your average sheep.
Mini haggises.
Yeah, mini haggises out of a much larger one, and he does it there right there before kind of moving the platter back into the kind of kitchen area. And then while you're being served, a couple other people will be like, give me one of them too!
Haggis.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm. And rather than have, like, glasses and stuff, it'll be like, they'll have, like, for the wines, they'll have, like, a carved, like, war sheep horn, that actually has had, like, a kind of, like, stem and base like kind of inserted into it, so it kind of like has this almost kind of like very what's the word I'm looking for, it's not just, you know, like the sheep's horn glass, like they made it into like an actual thing you can put down on a counter kind of thing, you know. They adapted it a little bit, and the shot glasses are just more of like a kind of a pewter kind of thing, you know, like a little like, or like you know.
Oh no, pewter poisoning.
I'm not thinking pewter, but like, you know, whatever it is that wouldn't poison you for like drinks. Clay probably, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, pewter was common to eat and drink off of back then. It takes a lot to actually poison you, so.
Yeah.
But we are drinking a lot.
Mm-hmm. They are drinking a lot. But eventually, Maxwell, the party will die down, and you can go about the business as you want. As like everybody, like, you know, the music will kind of stop towards the end of the night. One of the last like bagpipe guys will kind of like be doing like a kind of solemn song, as then like, you know, like the final song of the night, like everybody will kind of like stop, and like the one will kind of like put his hand on your lute and kind of like shake his head, you know, just like let you know not to do anything. As it'll be like a dirge, a hymn for fallen friends.
Oh.
And at the end of the song, then all of them will like take what's left of their drinks, chug them, and kind of like slam things down, and then like kind of like give like and then like the one that was on the bagpipes will get it. And to the next day, when we shall remember them again. And there's kind of like a cheer as then like, you know, the remaining crowd kind of breaks apart, with a few kind of finishing up some extra drinks and some food.
I know I didn't take like a single drink, but I really like this place's culture.
The one of the bagpipe is, "Aye, skinny," has a kind of slap you on the back, and you can definitely feel that kind of like you just get pushed over, because it's definitely like, you know, big muscular like musician dude. You're pretty good. Anytime you want to play with us, feel free to join in.
It would be my honor. You all seem like a very very cheery lot, and it's been a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
We've had years of wars and death and horrible things. If you weren't cheery and willing to welcome strangers into your homes and into your towns, you never know who's friend and who's enemy. Friends will stick with you. Enemies will try to stab you on the back. That's why we're big. Hard to get through our backs.
Maxwell smiles and laughs very happily.
What do you want to do, Maxwell? Your 3 other people are completely shit-faced drunk and are probably asleep in their beds. Radiant is currently watching over them. Everybody else is asleep. You're kind of the last one awake. The barkeep is still there. It looks like he's more on like cleaning up at this point in time. Taking things around back, and he's just like, and let me know if you're gonna wander around outside a little bit. If not, I'll close up everything. I'll probably retire into my room as soon as everything's cleaned up around here.
I actually wanted to offer to help. Just in case, you know?
Glad to have the extra hand. Seems like at least sometimes you get travelers like yourselves. Not many as cheery as and nice and friendly as your lot. But it seems like you offer some good smile and a happy time, and most people are like hanging out with you.
Yeah, we're a pretty fun crew. We've been on our own share of adventures, traveling the continent and whatnot. It's been unforgettable, to say the least.
Your friend just said that you were heading south. You know the location you're heading to?
Well, yes, I believe it's a village of demons, if I'm not mistaken.
Just
Was
the
that
one
the one?
demon. Just the one demon.
Oh, just the one. Oh, never mind. What was the name of the place? I need context because I've been like doing something else in the middle of this.
Kilnacree.
Kilnacree.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I believe it's this place called Kilnacree.
Oh, Kilnacree. There have been some stories about that place. They say
Pray tell.
Well, they're saying some kind of strange beast moved into the forest nearby. Been stalking some of the locals.
Is it a violent sort of beast?
Well, when you stalk and kill locals, I mean, that makes you violent.
Makes sense. Do you know what it looks like?
I've just been hearing some stories coming up from that way.
Might be good to keep in mind. Hopefully it's not too large.
I hope for your friend's sake, all her family's alright, too.
Ooh, that could be quite the concern. I'll make a note to mention that to her later when I can.
Aye. Other than that, I don't think there's been much news down from south along those ways. Some say that one of the other villages nearby is trying to organize some games between all the clans again. Been a while. Guess they hear about our winter games up here.
Ooh, what kind of sports do you offer for these winter games?
Well, for us, we got such great things as the caber toss, the wheel toss, skiing. We usually set up some kind of track for them to go on. Snow rolling.
Can outsiders participate in these?
Well, it's not winter right now, but anyone that came for travels and wished to stay along and join in it would be fine. They're organizing some kind of summer games, I think. Crazy, I know. What would you do during summer? How would you have your snow rolling? And your skiing? Just sounds crazy.
I'm sure something could be arranged with mud or something along those lines.
You're a funny one. What's your name?
My name is Maxwell. What is yours?
Why?
Let me get my name generator real quick.
I know.
I know.
What if it's
No.
also Maxwell?
Name's also Max. Max Kincaid.
I never thought I'd have the honor of meeting another Max in my my lifetime.
There happens to be a few of us, it seems.
This is true. I've heard at any given time there's at least 3 people out there in the world who look and have the same name as each other. Perhaps not so much looks, but in this case, I'll settle for the name.
Cheers to that.
Is there water I can like drink?
Sure.
Okay.
Slosh, 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 slosh. It's stuck in there for a while. You're just sloshy
Oh,
now. After you help him out, what do you want to do to settle it? Are you gonna go to a room and hang out with everybody?
Dehydrate.
Your wagon is definitely going to be kind of in a back area where there's like a stable.
Are there any player characters that are awake?
No.
No, I'm passed out drunk, bro.
Three of them are passed out
Oh,
drunk.
We're all
Heavy
drunk.
passed out.
I don't really
Yeah,
have.
we're all drunk as hell.
Who's
Wynrtris
my
is
punk buddy? I'm assuming Lotula.
Lutula.
Okay, I'm gonna head back there and just, I'm assuming is she sleeping?
She's asleep by now.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go there, pull up a chair, and then just sleep on that.
Kind of just rest on that.
Yeah, just go like
Stare at her while she sleeps.
Yeah. Creepily.
and tip my hat down too to kind of show that I'm sleeping.
Okay. The night will pass in Rosmore. And let's take our first break here, having you had a drunken night of festivities and drinking in Rosmore, learning a little bit about what's going on in the Highlands, and making some friends. So, if you need to grab a snack, drink, bathroom break, anything like that, if you have to take do any of those things, go ahead and do them, and we'll be back in a little bit. Countdown to adventure continuing now. Welcome back, everyone.
That's how it started?
Yeah,
That's what we're doing. We're going. Just sticking with that.
I'm going with musical. For life is a musical and everything is a
Oh,
song.
is this a musical now? We're just gonna randomly break out in song?
Sure.
I don't have the capacity for that.
Does it have to be a good song?
We would specifically have to plan for that episode, and like if around April's Fools, if we want to do that, that would be the thing we would do, like the April's Fools like musical episode where we all have to like sing everything we do. We have to sing.
I'd be down if we had a
everything.
musical number instead of singing the whole thing. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yo, April 1st is a Thursday next year.
Yo, let's
Oh,
go.
God.
The musical episode. We don't know what we're gonna do for it, but that's probably something about what it's gonna happen.
I'm making a note of
A
that.
demon that makes us sing will rip off Buffy.
I'm making an alert for the week before in my fucking phone calendar
Good, because I may forget, honestly speaking.
to remind y'all motherfuckers that we're
What?
doing.
A musical episode. Yeah, so, all of you eventually wake up in the morning, and Catherine, you're gonna feel awful. Carrie and Claude, you're gonna feel sort of awful, because again, you're pretty much resistant to the ability to feel a hangover.
What am I this morning?
A dog, a poodle.
A sheep.
You're C. I don't know which one's C.
Oh, I am a human.
Okay.
Oh man.
Human being.
Where are we, dancer?
Am I
Signs are
male?
vital.
What's the plan for
That's a
today?
cool.
You wake up,
Save it for the musical episode.
yeah, save it for the musical episode. Certainly. Scottish breakfast, because I don't know what it is.
What?
Get
Scottish
some
people.
gravy.
I was gonna say, can we have some Scotch eggs?
Fried eggs, bacon,
Hard-boiled
sausage.
eggs. With bacon, wrapped in bacon, sausage, and then deep fried.
Yeah.
No, deep fried. You made it American.
No, they fry it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
fry-
not deep fried.
Yeah, that's true. They fry it, but not deep fried. So, okay. So yeah, it'll be a breakfast of, we'll say, like sausage, fried eggs, scones, like a tomato, mushroom, like hash, and some toast. Freshly like, they probably have like one of those like things you can toast it over the fire kind of things. So you like put the bread in it and you can kind of hold it over there, or like kind of like it suspends it over the fire to toast it, kind of things, you know, in the kitchen, specifically for some toast. And they probably have like the egg and the hash like on the toast, with like a bowl of like beans and a plate of like bacon and sausage and like a scone with it. So it's a very hearty breakfast. And you'll actually see a bunch of people that are coming in for breakfast here. You know, they're like coming in, you know, a lot of like the, probably the bachelors who don't have their, you know, significant others serving them food, or they don't know how to make it themselves, are getting, things. There's probably a couple, mostly men, a few women in there that are getting like breakfast here. Looks like they're serving like a, there's some kind of like a black tea, is what they're serving with it.
Okay.
Like a very stringent tea, I'd call it. So it's not quite like a coffee, but it's certainly like a strong tea.
Probably just a breakfast tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of you will eventually wander down for breakfast, and you will get to enjoy it. Hi, how'd you like your food and drinks last night?
Very good.
Yes, very good. Oh, it's loud.
Here.
What did you say, Cosrin?
Kazard takes out a sickle. I will use this.
Here
You
you
realize that I can take a lot of fucking damage, man.
go. A little too much of your partying there, little friend. Don't worry, I got the right thing for you. He'll come back with what looks to be another scone and be like, here, have one of these.
I'll eat it.
Okay. It is both like... I don't know the best way to describe it. It is both gross and delicious at the same time, and also like just weird. It is incredibly like it's got like some kind of like a peppery spice to it. So it's like hitting you with like, you know, like almost like entire peppercorns, you know, that are kind of in there, you know, that you're like getting that burst of peppery spice in there. It also has like that kind of like tea flavor and kind of like this kind of like really heavy gaminess.
Does it help the hangover?
It certainly like wakes you up a lot, and he'll also like offer you like a tea with that to go with it. That seems to match very well.
I will take the tea.
Aye, traditional hangover cure. Tea pepper haggis scones.
Okay, thank you. I put the sickle away.
Cut the scones with it.
If you're planning on heading on, just let me know. We'll clean up the rooms for you, send you on your way. Indeed, if you need some kind of lunch to go, let me know. If you're planning to stay around the village for another day, also let me know. We can arrange for another night. And he'll go back to like serving everybody there. There's plenty of people that need breakfast and such.
You know, this is the kindest an innkeeper has been to me, I think, literally ever.
I agree. Good old Max the innkeeper is very swell.
You're the innkeeper?
Oh my god, you Sharon name, that's hilarious.
It's pretty great. Glad to see all Maxwells are good folk at the end of the day.
I don't know about that. I'm sure there's like at least 5 evil Maxes.
True, but we haven't met them, so, you know, as far as our track record goes, we're good. Mostly.
2 of 2. Alright.
Didn't you have an evil doppelganger at one point?
We all have an evil doppelganger.
We haven't encountered mine.
So
At
we
that
have
one
two
island.
attacks.
I mean, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
And Max, out of game, is there something you want to tell us that you learned?
Out of game?
Yeah, last night when you were talking to the innkeeper when we were all asleep drunk?
About a certain person's village.
Oh, I kind of wanted to save that for later.
Oh,
Sure.
Hey, when,
I guess.
hey,
Take your time, man. That was all out of character conversation.
yeah. I was just checking since we're deciding if we want to stay or not.
Right. I don't want to mention that yet. I want to like hold on to that info for a bit until we get closer, just so I don't like freak everyone out.
Okay. Well,
Do we have any business that we want to do here, or should we move on to Carrie's village?
Was the haunted mines near here?
Yeah, the haunted mines are nearby, right?
there's supposed to be haunted mines near here.
I wouldn't mind trying that.
Those are.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we're, in the rush or anything, right? I mean, unless Carrie, you want to get them quickly.
considering the fact that I haven't been home in over 5 years and haven't even talked to my father in that long, no rush here. I don't want to have to deal with that conversation.
All right.
I've always wanted to go ghost hunting in haunted mines.
You're literally a skeleton.
There's a difference between skeletons and
It's a
ghosts.
very subtle one. You're both undead.
One is fictional. The other is part of our anatomy.
Wait, you don't think ghosts are real?
Ghosts are real, dumbass.
Ghosts are very
Have I-
real.
Mr. Dungeon Master, have I ever encountered a ghost in my
In your actual time, you will say you probably never encountered a ghost. Whether or not you know that they're real or not.
Okay. You don't surely believe that ghosts are real, do you?
Because, like, you've encountered...
You're a fucking skeleton. Of course, ghosts are
Again,
real.
I'm an anatomical anomaly. Ghosts are a spectral oddity.
Okay.
Yeah, and, like, and
I have
and I'm gonna give-
spirits in me.
I'll give Max that, like, he probably will be like, there's like he understands the concept of corporeal undead and like necromancers bringing back bodies, but like spirits, that's something he wouldn't encountered or like thought about.
Like,
I
know-
have spirits in me.
But
I
you're an
shoot them
alchemical.
out.
But again, you're like an alchemical thing. Like I'm talking about like supernatural kind of stuff. Like
you don't believe in like
My
a
character-
poltergeist
my
or
character didn't have any reason to like believe in that because of his culture. You know, like it was mercantry. It's like the kind of thing you hear in like a story or something. You know.
Yes.
Maxwell, I literally summoned the ghosts of my dead ancestors to protect me in battle. You've seen it happen.
No, I haven't.
You literally have.
What are you referring to, Carrion?
You literally have spectral warriors appear in our battles.
When did you get this ability?
Level 3.
Third level.
We fight so little that I don't notice these things. Wait, did she do that in the forest battle?
Yes, I did.
I thought you were taking everything in that fight.
It is entirely possible that Maxwell has not been paying attention to Carrie during the fights.
I mean it's entirely possible because there's a lot of like problems of like, you know, like, oh god, there's enemies, let's fight them, and not like noticing particularly what she's doing.
I've never seen such a
Literally-
thing. I've only seen us fighting powerful monsters.
So, Maxwell, remember when you weren't taking as much damage as you should have? I think it was in the deserts. And, you know, ghostly figures showed up and, like, literally stood in front of you so the damage didn't hit you?
I can't say I remember that. I felt like everything was kind of a haze.
I like an idea that like Maxwell can't see them.
I also like that idea, too.
I like the idea that Maxwell just can't see them, actually.
I also like that, too, narratively.
Yeah.
I really shoot the souls of myself out of me when I do my.
Can that just be a thing? I can't see ghosts as like a crippling weakness?
Sure.
I'd be totally down for that as a flaw. I think that's interesting.
Don't believe in ghosts. Flaw, skeptic.
Flaw, shame the day.
I like the idea. It's like talking skeletons and corporeal undead are one thing. That's the work of necromancers. But spirits, that's just weird. Where are they coming from? They don't have bodies.
I love that, like, my IRL obliviousness for the fight is translating to a character flaw.
Radiant, please tell our skeletal friend that ghosts are real. Radiant, please. I need some sanity.
Theoretically, spiritual undead do exist. It requires certain conditions in order for them to be bound to an area, and oftentimes a spike of black mana, along with cursed lands. Places like Urborg are known for having wandering spirits that will actually manifest. They don't appear everywhere, though, so a lot of times when they're just stories, they are just stories. It's just that the few times that they do manifest. Necromancers don't tend to use them a lot because they're a lot less controllable.
I feel like I would have seen one in my travels, given how long I've been around. If these so-called spectral oddities are real.
Did you look out places that were considered haunted or cursed?
Can't say that I have. That depends. Claude, have we?
I try to stay away from things like that.
There's your answer.
Then you probably wouldn't have encountered them.
Kazarin, what's your excuse for believing in ghosts?
I've seen so much weird shit.
You seen a ghost?
No, well, okay. Sailors tend to tell stories when we're out sailing. So while I haven't seen a ghost, I've met people who have. You know, they tell these stories about haunting beings trapped along the ways of sailors whose ships went down. Entire ghost ships that appear and sink any who cross their path.
Oh, that sounds like nothing more than a fairy tale.
I mean, Maxwell, I believe you've encountered something that could be equivalent to a ghost, though.
What would that be?
Your shadowy friends. They are creatures that are between life and death. Not of this world, but quite of this world.
But those were humans with magic, no?
I believe it's less magical and more that they're cursed to an eternity in a shadow realm of pain and torment. Combined my basic knowledge and the research you've told me about.
I assumed it was mainly magic.
No, it's a horrible curse of damnation, apparently. It's much worse. Then again, I guess they're not quite ghosts, because I don't know if they're actually dead or not. But they are in a dead-like, ghost-like state. So that means... And it's something that's not something that they chose to do, to go into. So theoretically, maybe there is something out there that exists in a different way? Hard to say.
Possibly. I won't believe it until I see it with my own eyes.
There has been multiple apocalyptic events upon the face of this world that nearly destroyed it. I'm fairly certain weird shit happens because of it.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it. I'm a bit less inclined to trust what Carrion is saying, as it could have been a drug-induced hallucination.
No, I've seen the spectral things that Carrion summons during battle. They're there. They do it like... I've seen them.
But don't you also partake in the same drugs as her?
No, I take different ones. Sometimes.
I wonder about that, given our past expeditions.
Weed does not cause hallucinations.
Smoke leaf.
Smoke leaf does not cause
hallucinations.
It's not a hallucination.
Now, did I take hallucinatory drugs before? Yes. Not during battle, though.
Are you sure? You sure it would numb the pain?
No. It would make you a worse fighter, probably.
Yeah, and I can't afford to do that, because, sometimes I'm really bad. Sometimes I can't hit shit.
Maybe I can accept the possibility of there may being spectral entities. I mean, maybe, magic isn't the most far-fetched thing out there, and maybe ghosts fall under that too or something. But I still won't believe it until I see it. Therefore, I would like to go to these haunted caves for research purposes.
You get taken by a ghost, I'm not rescuing you.
Hey, you're talking about going to the mines.
We
This
sure
like
are.
this older man who's like got like what looks to be a piece of like a scone in his mouth that's chewing on it as he's talking to you. Well, let me tell you about the old sapphire mines. They were found in one of the hills nearby. It so happened when they were digging the graves for someone. Digging it into one of the hills to create for one of the rich families looking for a place for their grave sites. They came across them. Sapphires. Beautiful jewels of deep in the earth. No longer was that place going to be a graveyard. Now it was going to be a place for money. That was until the collapse happened. Then it became a graveyard. And then, of course, the rich man who did not want to dig it out anymore, well, he did what he intended to the first time. Buried his kin in there.
May I ask who you are, kind storyteller historian, sir?
They called me Old Jack. Just J.
I'm gonna mind read this guy. I got a bad feeling about him.
Did they call you Old Jack when you were like 20 years old?
Aye!
What about when you were 2?
I had a beard when I was already 9.
Good lord. All right.
Detect thoughts.
Okay, surface level thoughts of this man.
No thoughts, head empty.
I'm just trying to think about it.
Haggis.
It's something in my teeth.
I'm going deeper.
Oh, don't do it, man. It
I
never
gotta-
goes well.
Do I have to roll? I don't
No,
remember.
he's got to roll.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he's got to roll.
He'll like
and
look
he'll
at you.
that
I know,
you're
like be
broke.
staring at you and be like, "So, you're one of them."
Did you fucking do it again,
I know.
Maxwell?
I know.
Oh.
Don't
One
worry.
of
Your secret's safe with me.
Maxwell, what the fuck?
you can
did
tell
do?
the others. What?
No. I know you're hiding amongst the real ones. I know you come from. He's gonna like look up at the sky for a second and then look back down. Don't
He
worry.
thinks you're a goddamn alien.
You seem to mistake me for one of those up above. As I remove the glove slightly and show and tap on my bone.
Oh, God.
That's worse.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could be necromancers too.
Oh, Jesus.
Can you bring my cat back from the dead?
Is Radiant next to us?
Radiance is gonna be like, she's gonna throw up her hands and just be like, nope, out of it.
No, can't say we can do that today, unfortunately.
Probably requires too much dark magic. Then you must go for the mines. Go deep into this heart. I wasn't gonna tell you, but they say there's the great sapphire still within it. That its
Is that
curse was what caused the mines to collapse and killed them as they were digging it out. Sapphire the size of a horse.
What?
That must be worth quite a lot, isn't it?
Aye, it's also cursed. Maybe you can use its dark magic to raise my cat from the dead. And don't worry, what your people placed in my, you know where I've left it.
I look at the others and I say, I feel like we've learned quite a bit from this, haven't we?
I love this old man.
He's great.
And you know, oh, you just know, he's the one behind the ghost haunting. This is Scooby-Doo.
A demon, a skeleton, a shape-changer, a goblin, angel, a fish lady, 2 mountain folk, and an ancient elf walk into a bar. That's really your team. Oh my god. Oh.
I mean, it's bad enough, Carrie just looks like a demon, and he's just like, look, I'm a skeleton.
I know. Aye. Your secret dark magic's safe with me.
Okay.
He's like pointing at the one eye and blinking the other one.
May I ask, are you in charge of the hauntings?
No, why would you say that?
I don't know. So it seems like the integrity of your character is eccentric to say the least.
Oh, Dark Masters? I don't know anything about that.
Dark Masters.
He's like switching which eye he's blinking with, and having like one of them he's having trouble to blink with, so he keeps switching to the other one, and he wants to blink the bad one. Yeah.
Okay.
Oi, Jack, you telling stories again? That old man, he's crazy. Don't worry about him. Don't worry. I'm back. I'm going. The war rams. The war sheep. They have need of me.
As long as he doesn't have need of them.
I look toward the rest of them,
Oh, Jeff.
and I
He hasn't been the same since his cat died. That was like 25 years ago, so it's been quite a while since he's been crazy.
he snapped
Okay.
because of his pet passing.
It happens.
Well, it was the last
That's
draw. That was after his children died, his wife died, and his house burnt down.
How did all of this happen?
It was a
was a
series
very
of
bad-
misfortunes.
Unfortunate events.
He'll regale you of how like each happened accidentally, one at a time. Like a sign broke and smacked one of his kids in the head as they were walking by and killed him. A runaway cart ran over another one of them. His wife tripped and broke through a bridge and that was like apparently rotting and drowned. You know, it's like a series of unfortunate events along the way to his
This
cat.
seems a bit too coincidental for all of this to happen to one man.
I mean, it happened like 30, 40 years ago.
Okay, just tell us, is it true that there's fucking ghosts in the mine?
Who knows? The mine's been shut down. Private property, too. It's technically, after the mine was finished up, and the accident happened. It truly did happen, that a bunch of folks died in there. A bunch of the miners. Since a lot of it had been tapped out, seemingly, the owner converted it back to what he was originally building it for. Graves. Dug out some areas, created some mausoleums, sealed it off. So technically it's more of a graveyard than a mine nowadays, but originally some of the mine shafts and some of the tunnels probably still exist. Of course, that family's been dead now for some time. I think the last one passed away about 100 years ago. Since then, no one's been over there. You know, disturbing the dead and all. It's not something we wish to do. There's sometimes stories of, like, strange lights and sounds coming from the area. Late at night. When the moon is, when there's a new moon. And the null moon can't be seen.
Intriguing.
Also, I don't know if anybody knows, Dominaria has 2 moons. 2 of them. One of them is always white and full. It's called the null moon. There's reasons.
Is it a real
for that.
moon?
It is not, but no one knows that. It is technically an artificial moon that is a battery of white mana. And it was a super weapon that was technically used to destroy Yawgmoth.
We don't know that.
The legacy weapon was basically a gun for it. It triggered it.
Nice.
Yes. It's known that, like, white energy comes from the moon. Like, it's like, rather than it being an artificial moon and, like, it's known to be something that absorbs massive amounts of white mana because, I mean, there were some survivals in that final battle which it was used to nuke Yawgmoth. So stories are that, like, you know, the legacy weapon found a way to draw the massive amount of white mana from the null moon. Because it's a giant floating, like, white moon. So people were like, that's why it's always white. You know? So it's just known to be, like, a repository of white mana that exists out in space, and that's about it. The normal moon's kind of like our normal moon.
I still don't know about going to this place.
It's called the Mist Moon. Is the normal moon.
Are you scared of ghosts?
I deal with the dead on a daily basis.
Might still be scared of ghosts.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
let him pick
You-
on more.
Sorry, just one correction. You guys wouldn't call it a null moon. You'd call it the glimmer moon. So it's the mist moon and glimmer moon. Because the glimmer moon's always shining.
I have enough voices in my head. I don't need them outside as well.
All right. So then, what would you prefer?
And you also know, because you've hung out with her, every 28 days, Latula has to spend a night in ritual contemplation to the moon, when it is at its full phase.
No, that makes sense.
Because she's a devotee of Saloon, the Sevluyun.
Salune.
CeeLo Green, got it.
Yes, CeeLo Green.
Oh God!
There, I put it in the chat. The Sevluyun, the freaking moon goddess. Saloon.
Valen. I just don't want to bother any of the dead. I think we have enough of them.
Looking at Maxwell.
And me!
I was looking at Maxwell because it's funny to remind him that he's dead.
Well, Max obviously didn't hear that, but
Well, it's because it wasn't said in character.
right.
Sorry. Corrections, because I wanted to look up into it. The Glimmer Moon doesn't currently glimmer as much anymore because there's a giant hole in it, because apparently this is really badass. The Weatherlight flew out into space, punched a hole through it, and used that to channel all the white mana through to Yagmoth.
No, Moon got a pierced.
That's pretty anime, I gotta say.
It's fucking anime. I'm like, that is a lot more insane than I thought.
So it Porky Pigged it and popped its head through.
Yeah, so there's a giant hole in the moon, the Glimmer Moon, and it doesn't really glimmer as much anymore because it doesn't seem to have like much of that white mana because of the big thing.
Why is that also making me think of the Tick?
Because they do wacky stuff in the Tick.
Well, didn't they blow a chunk off the moon or something?
Apparently, somewhere on the planet there's like a living avatar of the mana that was left over from that. Freaking, that's also badass.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we do what we always do and go way too deep in Magic the Gathering lore,
Yeah. What do you want to do? You can go to the haunted graveyard / mines, because it's both apparently. That's seemingly on the docket you're kind of pushing for. Also, because no one's mentioned any of the other stuff. There is still also the Standing Stone. Did you say crimes?
Grinds.
Crimes. I like crimes. Anyway.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about,
said
Joe.
grinds. Grinds. Graveyard mines. Grinds.
Oh. I thought you were like,
like grinds, like Elon Musk's fucking girlfriend.
I forgot it was Elon Musk.
Like Leanne Rimes?
I thought you were saying Grimes, so I was like, from Walking Dead? Why are you talking about Walking Dead now? That's something I didn't think about. Is it because of Walking Dead magic that was a horrible abomination that shouldn't exist that we talked about on Discussing Tabletop?
There was a Walking Dead Magic the Gathering.
That's something we'll talk about on break, and it's an abomination that shouldn't exist that's technically just been out, and we'll talk about it then. Abomination. Anyway, what do you want to do?
We could always also just go to Carrie's village and then come back later.
I mean, you don't really have a great way of transporting Sapphire the size of a horse.
We have a carriage. Or no, I'm sorry, you said the size of a horse.
I said the size of a horse.
Wait, can I polymorph it?
No. It's a gem.
Yeah, you can't polymorph.
Here's the list of things you probably couldn't do. Probably too big for your carriage, and heavy, is a giant gem. Probably wouldn't fit in your bag of holding.
What if we take a chisel, start chipping it, and just take little bits of it at a time?
Well, then you'd have a lot of small sapphires, and it would be worth far less. But it would be
Like I said-
possible.
Well, what if we use mending and then fix it to its original form?
That doesn't work.
Yeah. What if I break
Why
the
not?
economy?
I thought mending fixed things. No?
No, the break has to be less than a foot.
Oh, never mind. I'm out of ideas then.
Like I said,
Let
shrink
me
it.
check my spell list.
Let's just bore the entire sapphire.
Like, the guy's gem was like, like, small in comparison to that fucking thing. If it actually exists, because it is the words of a crazy old man that thought you were like space things that I guess implied that you also probed him, and they're like your space necromancers or something.
Hey.
Enlarge, reduce.
Enlarge, reduce.
You could. It'd be only medium
Is that a spell? We have that?
I have it. It would make it medium sized, which I could then shove in the back. No, up to a minute. This wouldn't work, y'all. It super
Only
wouldn't
a
work, y'all.
minute. It's temporarily. I mean, probably it'd make it a lot easier getting it out of the mine, but then like transporting it would be the mine/graveyard. Then it would probably be difficult after.
Does
Why
Nim
do
know
we need a
anything?
sapphire?
I don't
We
know why
don't.
you want a horse-sized sapphire, but you kind of.
We were rich.
I'm fine with
Why
that
not?
happening.
It's fun, you know?
I mean, we are gonna lose our money soon.
Your sugar daddy?
Yes.
I mean, your sugar elfie?
Well, no, he still has to pay us.
He does love to pay you.
Yes.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm certainly not saying you can't, and you can come up with great ways of doing it. I'm just saying the ways that are very obvious would not work.
That's even if it actually exists.
Even if it actually exists.
A crazy man told us about it.
What about a complicated series of pulleys and levers?
No.
A real Rube Goldberg looking motherfucker.
I mean, to get it to the surface, that would probably work. Once it's out in, like, on the hill, that's a question of what you do then.
Put some wheels on that bad boy.
Yeah, I mean, you could convert it into some kind of, like, gem
Go-kart.
cart. Go-kart, yeah.
It's a bad idea. All these are bad suggestions.
I'm trying to tell you, like, they could work, possibly. I'm not going to discourage you if you really want to go after it. I'm going to give you the honest to God answer of, like, if you guys want to do this, it's fine. It's just going to be like, if it's actually there, what I've told you about, it will be really difficult to handle.
Do you guys want to do it for the joke?
For the gag?
Or do we want to be smart? I'm okay either way.
Stay away from the undead things.
Oh, man, that's a
Uh-huh.
boring answer. I normally try to be some voice of reason, but I actually like. All right, whatever. I'm okay with it. I just want to
I
see
have
ghosts.
one other idea for transporting this giant sapphire. And it's that
But
I
we don't
levitate
even
it.
know if it's there.
I levitate it around and I just push it.
Is that maximum 500 pounds? How much would a ruby or sapphire the size of a freaking horse weigh?
How much
Wouldn't you like to know?
area does a horse... How much volume does a horse have? Does a horse have? How much volume does a horse have? Okay.
$1 million question.
Okay. Let's see. Let's just go for its weight. It's 545.5 kilograms.
Okay,
Horse.
So 1 carat equals 0.00045 pounds.
Okay.
Way.
1.14.
1.14 or
So that is a 6.5 millimeter round sapphire is 1.14 carats. Now I don't remember how to do stoichiometry very well, so all these conversions. Also, I just painted my nails, so I can't write this out.
It weighs a lot. We're just go for it weighs a lot. I'm fairly certain the sapphire will weigh more than will have more density and therefore weigh more per cubic whatever than a horse, and an average horse is around 545.5 kilograms, which is 1,200 pounds. So if we can only lift 500, we're gonna say no.
Okay, last idea. I use catapults.
That would break the damn gem that we don't even know if it's there.
Also, I can't actually catapult. Catapult only works on things that weigh up to 5 pounds.
And it weighs probably like a ton. It's probably like a ton of sapphire, if it exists.
Big if.
Okay, a 10mm sapphire would weigh.
Oh my. Okay.
Okay, hang on. My brain finally clicked, so I know how to stoic my way out of this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's stoichiometry. It's chemistry-based conversions.
Oh.
That's
5
a-
carats
I've-
equal 1 gram.
Okay.
5
Okay.
carats to 1 gram.
Okay. A sapphire is approximately 3.98 grams per centimeter cube. Let us say
3.98 grams per centimeter cubed, you said.
let us just for maximum size say it is a 10 by 10 by 10 area of sapphire. That's feet.
Okay, so that's roughly 30 centimeters.
Feet to meters.
No, centimeters. Go centimeters.
So
One less conversion.
3.048 meters.
How many centimeters is that?
So 3.08. It'd be times one. Centimeters are 100th.
Hang on. Okay, 3.98 grams per 1 centimeter, right? That's what you said. Those are the words you said.
Wait, give me a second here. I can do some quick math. 0.48.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know, but it's fine. So times 100 would be.
Let's just go to Carrie's village, and in between sessions, I'll do math.
Okay.
You're making me do math.
You didn't have
He's
to.
a
We
math
can
major.
go in and figure it out. Like
I'm
we always
not a
do.
math major.
He is. Our DM.
Then why am I doing this?
I don't know.
Oh god, that's right. It's freaking cubic. Okay.
I don't
Let me put it
think
this
that
way.
on-
It's insane. It weighs a lot. I'm like trying to like the brain fart stuff. You know what? We're close to break. Let's take a break, and I will do math during break. How's that
Oh
sound?
my lord.
I will do math during break. We'll figure it out. We'll come back with weight of a giant sapphire. And so if you need a drink, snack, or bathroom break, go ahead and please do that. And we'll be back very shortly with math. Welcome back, post-math break.
It's a
So-
lot.
Insanity.
We did
The
some math. We figured out that most likely you could not have a sapphire of that size. It's too big to exist. Even if we reduced it to, I think the smallest we got down to that said we felt like physically from the structure of it, maybe it could exist in incredibly extreme circumstances, planetarily wise, not even on our planet, but like in other various worlds or something. Even we said like 0.5 meter squared, approximately, is still 1,000 pounds. It's still 1,000 pounds.
Yep.
So the answer
The
to this entire thing is, yeah. The answer to this entire thing is no. No, you couldn't. The horse size one's a little crazy. We've admitted to this. It's probably smaller, but still insane sized. Sapphire, legendarily speaking. That you would have to have specialty like materials to get out there. Because the world's largest sapphire is like hand sized instead of like a giant cube I would place on my desk. So anyway, what's the plan? Do you want to go after the
No,
largest,
let's just go
the
see her
largest
family.
thing you could? It'd be really difficult to get out and sell. we. I mean, it was interesting.
The answer was no.
The answer was it was interesting to think about, but like as soon as we talked about the feasibility of it, it's like this seems like a bad idea just on the principle of what the fuck would you do if you found it?
Basically.
It's an interesting thought experiment.
It was. The guy's probably hanging out at that place now, waiting for you to show up.
Yeah. So, better idea. Let's just go say hi to Carrie's fam.
Let's do that.
Okay. That sounds like a good idea. Alright, so you once again hit the road. He'll give you, effectively like a, bacon jerky, and scones, and what appears to be like, small fruit pies, hand pies, to go with you on your journey. Those are your lunches. I wish you luck on your journeys. If you're ever back in the area again, stop by and say hello.
Will do, Max. Thank you for the kind hospitality.
He'll get back to business as you head off. Down the road again. It'll be a few more days of traveling deep into the highlands. Of course, you'll pass by definitely a lot of open fields. A couple of places where it looks like some of those war sheep have been more domesticated. Apparently, war sheep wool also as good as normal sheep wool. A little coarser and thicker. But not as bad. Probably much itchier than normal wool.
Oof.
Much warmer, but much itchier.
Wool doesn't need to be itchier.
Too bad.
It's steel wool.
It kinda is. It's called a war sheep. They probably have them some of them domesticated and trained as riding mounts, because they're freaking horse-sized sheep.
Just don't make any woolen underwear with that.
No promises.
Do whatever I want.
No promises.
You want to wear steel wool underwear?
They'll do what
I
they
never
want.
said that I wanted to.
They'll do what they want. You'll also pass by a few more small villages along the way, but eventually you will have to kind of break off from the main trade routes, which continues to head south all the way down to an unnamed village, which may or may not have burned down about a decade ago, or at least a large portion of it. And you'll head out a little farther to the west, heading towards where Carrie's village is of Kilnacree. Or freaking
Kilnacree.
Kilnacree.
I've written it so badly in my notes.
Kill Carrie. Got it.
Yeah.
Kill me specifically. I would
Rewrite
like to die.
so I can actually read this a little better. There we go. Now I can read it in my own notes. Because apparently I merged some letters together and made it really difficult to read.
Lightning only if there was an orphanage it burned down.
Did you say Orf Village? What's an
Orphanage.
Oh, orphanage! I thought you said Orf Village. I'm like, what's an Orf Village? I'm
No,
so
Lightning said in chat, is there a village full of child rapes?
I mean, they rebuilt it, so it might have child rapes, but they don't know. They're not going to visit it. It's not my fault that you're in the village full of child rapes. I mean, it technically is, but whatever. Anyway.
Maxwell, are you going to share that information that you received at the bar now?
Well, we're not at the village yet.
We're going there.
Okay, well, I'm waiting for a time and place for that. You guys can't just meta
Until we
this.
run into the thing on the way into the village.
You can't just meta this. I'm doing it for narrative interestingness.
Okay.
All right.
Carry on.
Yeah, alright, so after
Carrie.
about So after about 2 days of journey out of there, you'll kind of like turn down to a smaller road, a little less main road, and then you'll even turn down another smaller one after that. That seems like very much more like a one cart road. Still definitely seems like it has use and sees use. But eventually then you'll kind of like see that you're getting kind of a little bit more wooded areas. You're going to be down out of the hills. It's a little bit more flatlands at this point in time. Definitely got a little bit of like bogs and like, you know, like kind of areas like that kind of sinking into certain places.
Are there any boggins?
No, because they're stupid. Boom. Shots fired.
That's not a way to get ahead in the world.
Boom. Shots fired. Eventually, you'll actually start getting into like a little bit more of a wooded area again. It's not a dense forest, like certainly by no chance. You've been in dense forests on these journeys before in areas of actually woodland. This seems more like a very light forest, kind of on the edges of like plains areas, just with like a couple areas of trees, and then you'll actually see the small village, which happens to have a large wooden wall around it. The gates are closed as you approach them.
Mm-hmm. Was the wall normally there?
Were you still a gated village?
Kidding.
Sorry, suddenly my sheet moved.
Sorry.
Titus, you said it wasn't there before, right?
No, it wasn't there before.
No, but as I will keep reminding you guys, I haven't been here in, I don't know.
A decade.
No, it's been less than a decade. But not much less.
Wait, you said there's gates, right? Can we like knock on it?
We're approaching.
Are there guards like above the gates? Or
You don't see
anything?
any.
I kind of yell, "Hello!" like that.
Who goes there?
My name is Maxwell, and I am joined by my merry men and women, and we are here to slay the beast terrorizing your land.
There's what?
There's a what?
No, Maxwell.
What does the guy say?
My name is Carrie and I used to live here.
Carrie?
Yeah.
You'll see like the gate open a little bit and a familiar face kind of poke out. Where the hell have you been?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you?
It is your brother, which joined the town guard, of course. Lados.
Does he even recognize her?
What the hell happened to you with the wings?
Would you believe me if I said I took some drugs and became more of a demon?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. Hi.
What?
About that beast terrorizing your land.
Yeah.
Maxwell,
What are you
What
going?
the fuck are you talking about, Maxwell?
I
Can you
was
just sit on that?
talking to the other Max, and he told me there was a giant beast terrorizing this land, eating
You
people.
didn't think to tell me?
I kind of whisper in your ear, I wanted to keep it a surprise in case we could get a bounty off of it.
That's our fucking home, dude.
You
Or
don't look
Us
like.
away?
You also don't look like soldiers from Dominaria, like when we called in for reinforcements for an order of knights to come and help out. You
It's
don't look
because
like
we're
that.
not. I was just coming to visit home, and apparently Maxwell's keeping information from me again.
I didn't want to scare you guys on the way here. That's why I held it for dramatic suspense.
We've killed a bunch of freaky shit. I don't think it would have scared us.
What if we would have
Okay.
attacked us on
The point
way
is there's
here?
supposed to be a monster around these parts that are terrorizing
Yes.
you. How can we help?
Get inside?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. We
let's
sent
not
for an order of
wait.
knights from Dominaria. They hopefully should be arriving in a few weeks. yes, there have been some strange goings on, and something has been stalking and killing a couple of the hunters. One time, it came into the village. No one really got a good look at it. It was late at night. Fortunately, no one died during that incident, but again, we've lost a number of the hunters that were traveling on the outskirts of town. And a few farmers have had livestock and such disappear. There's worry because it's been in the village once, hence why we took a few days and put together a goddamn wall around the place.
Yeah, I figured that was very new.
Let's
I know I
get
haven't been here
inside.
for a while, but still.
Yeah, come on in.
Okay.
Everybody be glad to see you.
I'm just shaking my head at Max.
And I look at you, I say, I just wanted to enjoy some peace and quiet and not think about the stress of monster killing for once. Is that too much to ask, Claude?
And if
Is
it
it too
would-
much?
If it would have attacked us on the way,
And
and the rest of us are unprepared
Well, that was a risk I was willing to take.
with our lives.
With our fucking lives.
Would you have wanted to been stressed when the thing showed up, or would you rather have been mentally calm and collected?
I would have rather been fucking prepared.
Pants.
Okay, the point of the matter is that it didn't attack us.
We've been forced to rely straight on the things here. We haven't been able to get to the tributary in some time. Our village was known for two things: hunting a few of the things, and that we have the best fishing in this area on the tributary, and we haven't been able to get to it. None of our boats have been out in weeks.
You said you don't know how large this thing is?
We haven't even been able to get any otter or beaver. And that's our big trade for the winter season, getting extra supplies.
You said this thing was taking livestock, correct?
Yes, from some of the local farmers.
Oh, what was that thing that I read about in the stories? It was 2 letters. It started with E, and the second one escapes me. I think it was T, extraterrestrial?
No.
Does that exist in Magic? Are there like
No.
aliens in this world?
No.
Fuck, man.
That's why
There's
like,
extra dimensional bullshit.
there's extra dimensional
Do
bullshit.
angels aren't they like considered like otherworldly?
Angels
No.
are aliens.
Angels aren't aliens.
No, I know that, but they're like it's just
They're
like a
outsiders.
okay.
They're different.
Like a demon, it would be an outsider.
Yeah, but that's like kind
I
of
haven't seen it.
confusing a little bit of things here of D&D
Yeah.
and Magic. I would say
I
there's
just-
nothing quite equivalent to it in Magic lore.
My town had a lot of weird stories.
Yeah.
Uh,
A lot of the stories could be pertain to things like for like if we go back to your town on Rath, probably there were some weird stories of people being abducted at night. But you know what it was? Phyrexian
Oh,
scientists experimenting on them. Basically, what happened to you? You were abducted,
Oh.
taken to a laboratory where you were experimented on. What does that sound
Okay.
like to you?
yeah.
Aliens.
Were there any
Okay.
footprints found? Maybe we could get, a mental eyes of the beast.
Yes. If you want to look at them, you'd have to find some out in the woods now. We haven't. It's been weeks since the thing attacked the village.
Right. Well, why don't we go see your family?
It's fortunate you're here. Unfortunately, not everyone's here. Casadea's off. She was the one that went to get the knights. She's actually was planning on moving to Benalia, the capital. Benalia City.
Yeah, but
Her stuff's good. And she caught the eye of a few traders. I think she's even got her own shop she's setting up there. And, of course, Callum, Kame, has had his transport ship on the main river. And Oriax has been helping him. They stop by occasionally here and there, but we don't see him a lot.
Question: does he show any signs of being a demon?
Yeah, he's a tiefling.
yeah,
Okay.
Yep. You certainly
All of the siblings look very much alike.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks a lot like Carrie did before she changed, I say.
No
Right.
wings,
For
probably.
the
No
drug
legs.
trip.
Well, I didn't have wings before.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did things before.
But then she drank Red Bull,
Did you?
Then I took a lot of drugs.
named Red Bull.
They're not named Red Bull.
Yeah. Lilith, of course, has been working on the trade too, so she's in and out of town. So it's really just me and you didn't mention in your backstory what Cass did.
Huh? Who? What?
Cass, your second sibling.
That's Castea.
Yeah, Castea.
She's Taylor.
Oh, she's the tailor. Oh my god, I'm brain farting. So yeah, tailor, sailor, adventurer, trader. Yeah, so Lados is the only one running town right now. Right now. 3 of the siblings stop by occasionally, and Cass is now moving to the big city.
Yeah.
So it's just me and Dad right now most of the time. He's doing okay, but I mean, a couple years ago, there was a hunting accident. Left one of his legs a little lame. Can't really get out anymore. He's been doing some of the fishing on the boats, but it's not the same.
Think he's still mad at me?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of us were upset with you when you disappeared. But
I sent letters to Kame.
yes, and there were stories that were shared. Father didn't listen though. I don't know if he wanted to. I mean, like, I think he was the most upset about everything leaving. And... Look, I understand. You know, we've all kind of moved off in various ways from home here. And after everything that kind of happened over the years, you know, I guess all of us want to find some more acceptance out there. Something that it's hard for us to find. Anyway, you are looking very...
Demony?
Yes! The wings are just throwing me off.
She can
Yeah,
fly.
I can fly. That's a new thing. Yeah. No, what I said...
He's
pretty
actually
much
gonna
the
pause for a second and kind of like look at you and then and kind of bring you over, like kind of like just pause and kind of like put his hand on your face and like kind of like look at you. I didn't realize it until now because it's something I only saw a few times. You look just like Mom. When she wasn't in human form. Granted, she was a lot taller, but I can see it in you definitely now.
So
Shit, I don't
maybe
know how Dad's gonna go with that one there.
Yep, maybe I shouldn't go see Dad.
I don't. You really should, but maybe I should talk to him first. Look, I've got to keep watching the gate. Maybe just find a place for your friends to stay in. I think the bar master might have a little common area that he can have people stay in. We don't really get travelers this outside, but very often. Like, sorry folks, you know, the occasional merchants that come in usually stay with people and they've got like a room for them, but for a group your size, I don't really think we have. We got maybe like some barn space, or as I said, the barkeep might have a little of a common space. Probably maybe the area that's kept for like weddings and special events.
We're used to it. It's okay.
Yeah, I'd say settle in there. Check in with the barkeep. Let him know. I'll talk to Dad and come to you, get you then.
Yeah, sure. Come on, you lot. I still know the way.
So we're not dealing with a terrifying monster?
Not right
Not
now.
at this moment.
Alright.
Alright.
And Maxwell, we are going to have some fucking word.
Are we like walking right now on the way to the bar?
Yeah.
I thought it would be a good first impression to be known as the heroes of your village.
That would imply that we had already killed the monster.
There's also the fact that you didn't tell me my family was in danger.
We were going to get to that. I
When?
didn't want to
When?
When we showed up?
when we got to the village.
So if someone was already dead, or someone was captured.
Look, I was nervous, okay? I didn't want to be the person who had to break the bad news. So I did what I do best when I get nervous and stressed as a skeleton.
Now,
I try to make light of a very terrible situation.
now, Carrion. Try to relax. It seems that all of your siblings and most of the folks in town that you know are fine. Let's not get too upset about this thing. Now, should Maxwell have said something right away? Probably. Does it infect things in the long run now? We did go straight to your village probably as fast as we could.
Oh, I'm still fucking pissed off though.
The
Again,
important thing is, nothing happened.
Wait, you were gonna let us just go through the mine?
Was that in character where I was advocating for the mine, or
Yes!
was that like out of character?
Yeah.
Yes!
that was in character.
That was personal research.
Okay, but
I
knowing
wasn't
that
saying we had to
Gideon-
do it at the time, but I was saying I would like to do it.
Maxwell, please just shut up before I punch you in the mouth. And Carrie's just gonna walk ahead to the fucking tavern.
It's the Bloody Skunk Pub.
What a name.
Uh-huh.
That's so good.
Mhm. So, the Bloody Skunk Pub is certainly not a great place. It tends to be for young folks who have not yet settled down, or older folks who need a stiff one, to drink effectively what's akin to moonshine, because that's really all the alcohol they have around here, or occasionally some barrels of ale and wine that get shipped in. And then there's a party. There is indeed a back room, which is used for big events or something, like akin to a town hall, because the village elder happens to be the guy that's in charge of this place. Zach Milne. I'm gonna spell it out here. Zach Milne. He just goes by Zach to all his friends and people who know him. Hi, welcome to the Bloody Skunk Pub. So, travelers, I haven't seen one of you folks in, on now, 5 years since the last traveler we got. What can I do for you? Wait a second. Do I know one of you?
Yeah, I just look a little worse.
Oh, if it isn't old Carrion, the middle of the demon spawns. Sorry. Is that the accurate thing? Your older brother keeps complaining to me when I refer to you that, but then he kind of gives in because he doesn't have a better term for you.
Yeah, we don't really have a better term. No. Demon spawn. Hell spawn.
Well, you're still your
Or
good
even
kids.
just our names.
Look, we don't hold it against you for being all like born from dark magics and such. Y'all good kids. Y'all proven that it's more than the sum of where you're born. It's where how you're raised, and your father raised you right. I'm making this guy more Irish than Scottish, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's because Carrie's weirdly Irish.
So, come on, settle yourselves down. A stiff drink. Have you been home yet? Your father would be worried about you.
No, not yet. Just talked to Lados about, the monster that's apparently stalking around here.
Aye, the beast.
Know anything about it?
They call him many things. The death of all that see it. The shadow of the night. We don't have a true name for it. I've been thinking about it lately, that there's an old legend of a beast from deep in the woods back in this time when it was merely just a group of hunters who lived here. No, Lightning, no. Thing that are a little bit of what our city's named after. Kilnacree is our city. And the creature of legend is the... I'm going to spell this out, and then I'm going to butcher how I'm going to pronounce this.
Oof.
The Kb'brian.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. Kb'brian. Should be. Short for funeral.
So I wrote something about my guy for those who want to read that.
I mean, yes. Sometimes you just lie because of your silver tongue, and that's acceptable. It just you cause tensions.
It doesn't mean Carrie's not pissed at you.
Yeah.
No, I know. She has every reason to be.
Mm-hmm.
Maz doesn't care.
Maz is fine.
Yeah, I know.
Carrie's
Maz is completely fine with this.
That's the closest thing I can give to a name for it. But even then, I don't know for sure. Oh, it's a terrible creature. No one got a good look at it. The beast, large, bigger than a house, slunk into the village. If it wasn't for the guards, it probably would have taken maybe an entire family. Hence the walls that we've had built up here. Many of the farmers have come into town here, staying with friends and folks that are related to them. Hunters. They go out during the day, as much as they can, but at least the thing seems to hunt at night. That's their only advantage. You heard that we sent for some knights. Hopefully they'll be here soon and can take care of this creature. Oh. I've been quite worried, but still, we're persevering.
What time is it now that we're in town?
Afternoon. We'll say early afternoon. I mean...
Well, let's hope we get back soon.
We took a risk on a small group of, a man and a group of children. All seemed to be some kind of demon spawn. And it turned out for the best. He's gonna kind of reach across the bar, and he's gonna kind of do something that he did probably like when you were a kid, and like kind of like put his hand on your head and just kind of like give that kind of like reassuring pat. You know, it's definitely that's something that like it's been decades since that kind of thing. You know, back when you were like small and probably mischievous. You know, and he put up with a lot, and probably a bunch of small kids would try to sneak into the bar. You know, and try some moonshine or something.
Moonshine.
If your friends need a place to stay, I'm sure you can use the room out back. Got no use for it right now until a couple of months from now when Riley's having his wedding.
That's very kind of you.
You know, old Nicky boy, he had a thing for you back in the day.
Yeah, he's not my type.
He's getting married to Sarah now.
She's much more his type. Yeah. Yeah. Could have called that. You know what? I'll be right back. I'm gonna leave.
Okay. Okay. Where are you going?
I am going just probably to, like, the wall, climbing up. Because I'm sure there's, like, posts along the wall, right? To look out over the wall.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Rather than having, like, a long thing around it, there's just a couple of places where, like, platforms with, like, kind of, some ladders have been built near the edge of the wall so someone can climb up and look, and probably they have guards stationed around at night to keep an eye out.
I'm just gonna climb up one of them and just fly around the general area.
Okay. Get down from there!
No.
I refuse.
You're making a scene by doing that. I can see you
I
up
don't
there.
care. Cool. Proud of you.
Damn
Yeah,
it!
boys.
After a little while, Radiant's gonna fly up to you. Your brother asked me to come and see what's up.
I'm just keeping an eye out.
All
Oh my
right,
God, shut up.
I can go tell him. Maybe to reassure him. He seems to be upset about you flying around the village.
Yeah, well, he can go suck a dick. I just want some alone time, please.
I think it's less that he's worried about you having trouble and more that you're different from last time you were here, and he's worried that, you know, you might worry people that don't know you've changed.
Yeah, I don't care.
Alright.
I'll be gone again in a week or two. They can suck it up till then.
Why don't I stay with you? It might reassure people to have two flying things.
To have an angel watching over the devil steal their children,
I'm not that angel.
drink their blood.
But again, you never know. I mean, technically, I do watch over you. Not for the entire blood-stealing thing, but, you know.
I would think you would know by now that I don't actually steal children, or drink blood, or bathe in the blood of goats. I don't know what else they might think.
Goat thing seems new to me.
Goat blood? I thought that was pretty common.
I thought it was human sacrifice. At least when it came to the Cabal. They're the current demon worshippers around nowadays.
Well, yeah, there's human sacrifices, but sometimes people, you know, drink, or not drink, they bathe in blood to, you know, stay youthful, I think is the old term.
Wow.
Or maybe that was just a childhood, like, story. I don't remember.
That sounds
At
like a
this
childhood
point-
story of Urborg, though.
Probably. I think my grandmother probably bathed in blood at one point or another. Yeah, she was a witch.
Yeah. Family issues are bad.
Families!
I'll just stick with you. We'll just... whatever. You might need a silent companion anyway. Extra pair of eyes.
And now I'm just thinking about the fact that, like, biblical angels had, like, 100 eyes or...
Wheels within wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
But yeah, just quietly flying for a while.
what are the rest of you doing? You're in a bar. There's like a back room that you have access to that you can put like bedrolls and stuff in. It's literally like a large it's just like a large room. It doesn't even have like chairs or anything set up.
I'll set up my area at the very least.
Mhm.
I'm considering there's a monster around. I'm not going to get smashed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not get drunk.
Yeah, let's not get wasted this time. Maybe next time, after the monster's dead, we'll get wasted.
So there's certainly there's an area that has to the side that looks like a pile of benches are kind of piled up in one part of the room, probably for things like weddings or town meetings or something they might set them up for. Because again, this is the closest thing to a town hall. It's just kind of just an empty space right now.
Right. Like I said, I got my bedroll out and just setting general stuff up.
I guess all your other people will kind of do their thing too. Nim will actually be hanging out with Zach and chatting him up.
Chatting him up?
Yeah. Learning about
I don't think
the
he
town.
needs
No. I mean,
Yeah.
Listen, in the hip lingo, chatting him up kind of means flirting.
Nim has had his time for experimentation over his 2,000 years, but he's firmly more in the, he likes women, more than men kind of thing after all that time. But he doesn't say he hasn't experimented over those times, and he's found some guys he definitely probably likes. It's just they probably don't.
Also, there's the whole thing.
I mean, he's also learning about, horrible monsters and legends of your town. Yep. And stories about Carrie in her youth, because he can ask.
I'm being respectful.
I'll
and
listen to
not
those.
going to ask about that.
I'm not gonna ask, but if they're told and I'm nearby,
Maxwell, you doing anything in particular?
Just playing my loot.
Okay. Just practicing loot, kind of over in the corner.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, midday, this place is dead. This place is probably got a little business in the mornings and kind of a little business in the evenings. Mornings because they do have a small kitchen here that they probably put together a few Zach says I throw usually a few breakfasts together for some of the locals, especially the widowers or widows that before they head out to work in their jobs. And then in the evening, well, you got usually groups of kids coming in for a party or some of the old folks coming in. So it gets pretty busy back in those times. One day it's just kind of sitting around waiting for people to come to you and say oh, here's the problem that you need. Zach, good old boy. We need you to help out with this. We need to build a wall. Zach, my livestock's been eaten by a giant monster. Zach, we could probably use a new well. That's when you go about and you organize some men. You go out to them and you there, need your able bodies. You know what? You'll be surprised how many times that just works, where you just point at some men and they come to you and help out. Tough women, too. Don't get me wrong. Some of the women around here, they'd crack open a skull with their thighs.
Interesting choice of words.
Let me tell you a story. My great-aunt Mildred actually did that one time. It's about, well, technically my great-great-aunt Mildred, and this is about, let's say about 100 years ago. One of them fancy rifts in time and space had thrown a bunch of crap all in the area. And, so there happened to be a bunch of goblin raiders in this area. Back from the days when the goblins were coming down from certain areas, and the goblins and orcs were coming down from the areas in the mountains and raiding the areas. That's according to the legends. Hasn't happened in a long time. No offense, little one there.
sure. Different goblins, I know.
Yeah, and back in the, I still remember the stories that my great grandfather passed down to me. That his ancestors who fought during the war. He was in a battalion with a bunch of Yorkin, fighting the Phyrexians. So I got a respect for you.
All right, I'll take it.
But anyway, so great Aunt Mildred, bless her soul. Apparently, she ended up getting captured, getting her arms tied up, and all she had was her legs, which she could do something with. She crushed, I believe it was 4 goblins and 2 orcs' skulls to death. Before she got
Impressive.
Well, apparently the problem was after the first 3 goblins and 2 orcs, none of them had any weapons because they were all at supper. And their knives for cutting food aren't great for cutting ropes.
That's true.
Then it took the 4th one to finally crush its head and then bury him. Boom! Got a knife, cut your ropes, escape, call it a day. That's at least how the story goes. Great Aunt Mildred, there was a woman amongst all of them. Stories I could tell you about her. Anyway, so yeah, there's some toughies born from our village occasionally. Carrie seems like an adopted toughie. She's always had a knack for getting into the wild, hunting, fishing, beating up all the boys. Tougher than any of the other men around her age. She probably had the choice of anybody in town, but she left on her way. Did her brother tell you? Got married.
Did not.
No,
He
can't say
was
we've heard that.
busy
There was a lot going on. Yeah.
About 7 years now. Got married. Working on their 2nd young one.
Carrion might want that information.
Indeed.
Well, when she gets back, you should tell it to her.
I was thinking of going for a walk anyway. If I come across her, I'll let her know.
Subtle jab, subtle jab, subtle jab.
Subtle jab that I don't actually say out loud because
You're not there.
Perfect moment being when you meet your niece or nephew.
Yeah, when I meet the children of my brother, you know,
And your heavily pregnant sister-in-law.
that I don't know I have.
No.
It's like you walk in, your brother invites you guys over out to tell you, and Max goes, "Oh, this is your sister-in-law."
No, I'm going outside, so if we come across each other, you'll know. It would admittedly be a much more pleasant surprise than, hey, there's a monster that might kill your family.
Yeah.
You said it's early afternoon.
Yeah. Early afternoon.
Because probably when it gets to like late afternoon, early evening.
That was weird. Not something I would do.
You're okay.
Yeah, apparently for reasons unknown to me, Roll 20 just exited.
Oop.
I think I hit something on my mouse here because I'm assuming it's one of these many extra buttons since I've got the new wired mouse. That I'm like, ooh, extra buttons, they're neat. Oops, one of them is apparently like a back button.
You gotta reprogram all them buttons.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to try to go to bed early evening.
Okay.
And maybe keep up through the night.
Okay. Max, you doing anything? Just hanging around in the bar?
Where is Carrion located?
You have no idea.
The sky.
Oh.
She went out somewhere into the village, and that's the last you saw. She left the building. And then a little while later, her brother came and was like, you, the angel, can you help me out? I need you to talk to.
Is her brother
Carrie.
nearby?
He's at the gates most of the time.
Can I go talk to him?
Sure.
I ask him.
Oh, hi there.
Hi, how are you?
You're one of Carrie's friends, right?
I guess friend is a bit of a stretch at this point, but yes, you could say that.
Okay.
It's mainly about the whole monster thing. I was nervous and I didn't want to scare them, but that kind of backfired.
Don't worry about it. She's quick to anger, and as long as you don't make a mistake like that again, you should be fine.
Right. That
Yeah,
said,
this is the first time anything like that's happened. You definitely didn't push her off a tree or anything.
or almost let her get kidnapped.
That's true. That said, how can we help deal with this monster? I want to do whatever I can.
At most, if it does come back during one of these nights, then I guess that you're staying here. Help fend it off. As for now, I don't know. As I said, we sent for some knights. They should be arriving here soon. One of the orders of knights that hopefully can help us take out this thing. A patch of woods here isn't huge, but it's big enough that there are some places in it that even some of the hunters don't go to. Some of the more dangerous areas.
Well, in that case, please don't hesitate to let me and my friends know if said beast arrives. I know we're, at least most of us are new, but it's the least we can do for Carrion keeping us company for this whole journey. Speaking of which, do you know where she went?
He's just going to point up and then get back to work. Cass, you could probably eventually notice that Carrie is flying around with Radiant.
Yeah. I'm gonna, look up, wave, to try to get Carrion's attention,
Carrie,
and
let's
then
make
walk.
a perception.
Yeah.
I mean, I can... Oh, wait, I could do something even...
Okay.
No, I know what to do.
Yeah,
I know
First, she
exactly
doesn't seem
what
to notice
to do.
you. Yeah, when you wave, doesn't seem to notice you. Oh wait, let me check something else here. Check if someone else notices you because.
Radiant.
Yeah. No.
Okay. When I see neither of them notice me...
No, you can notice Radiant seems very intent on making sure Carrie is attention on Carrie and watching after her kind of thing.
Okay. Better idea for getting their attention. A literal message in the sky.
I forgot about that ability.
Uh-huh. Okay. Words appear in front of you, Carrie, as you're going along. You look up and you, oh, holy crap, words!
What does it say?
It just says, you all right? Question mark. You all right? Down here, if you want to talk.
How much ink do you have in that?
10 words.
You all right? Question mark. Down here, comma. If you want to talk. Yeah, that's 9 words. Still have 1 left.
It's fun.
Gonna look for a tiny goblin on the ground.
Yeah, you'll see him there.
Probably still, maybe see him, maybe not. I don't know. Carrie's not very perceptive.
I mean, if you actually look for him and are paying attention, he's easy to notice.
I'm the only goblin.
Only goblin. It's not that big of a place. It's just.
I'm wearing a tri-corner hat.
Yes.
Carrie needs glasses. Glasses don't exist. Just 2 thumbs up.
I mean, I'm just gonna roll again. You can roll with advantage, I'll say, in perception if you want to go about that. I'm gonna roll for Radiant too. Oh, Radiant certainly sees him then. Radiant
I'm not even
fucking rolls a 20.
Radiant moves your head directly into
an 18 and a 20 on that. She's just like, he's down there.
Just thumbs up. Go back to flying.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, Max, if you see Radiant, or not Radiant, Radiant and Carrie, are you doing anything? Get their attention? Or not?
Who?
Max.
You.
You.
Oh, I thought. Well, I was still looking for her. No.
She's stopped.
I mean, she's flying around
still up.
a lot, so you'll notice it.
Yeah, I'm literally just above.
I kind of just do this.
Mhm.
Actually, no. I take off my hat
Mhm.
and I do that. I'm like, wow, she really did it. I try to find the others.
I'm walking around town.
I'm at the
I want to
bar.
regroup with you, Kaz.
Okay.
She's really mad at you, man.
Yeah, I understandably so. I didn't want to scare her. I don't know what else to say.
No, I get that. On the other hand, it's Carrion. I think of any of us, she's the one who could handle that sort of thing.
That is true. That is true.
Well, on the other hand, I would be able to handle news about my family being in danger very well.
Okay, well, I wouldn't because I never got the chance for that. So,
Which family for me?
what was that?
I said, which family for me?
Yeah, you got a lot.
That's kind of morbid in
none.
and of itself.
Either a lot or none.
Or both.
Well, it's... I don't understand your thought process, really. You're gonna have to do something to make this up.
You're right.
Nothing too dramatic. Okay, no, I need to be more specific. Don't do anything dramatic to make this up.
Okay, what about something subtle like buying her a drink?
That would be an excellent start. A much better start.
Do you think they have vintage beer?
No. I also am not sure Carrion would like a vintage beer. Also, I don't know if vintage beer is a thing.
No.
What? Or grog? I don't know the names, man. I'm
Vintage. No, beer is
Ale?
not good. Or there's no.
You don't want old beer.
I don't
Yeah.
It goes bad.
Also,
There's no such thing as aged
I'm
beer.
gonna even give you that probably Maxwell hasn't drunk for like 300 years too. So,
I don't have a liver.
yeah, it would just fall through him. He doesn't know like beers and stuff.
Aged wine.
It's like culture shock for him.
Mhm.
Okay. Aged wine or whiskey.
Okay. What about aged whiskey?
Even better.
There you go.
All right. Well, I think that's probably an okay place to stop there, as the two of you probably hang around the village for a little bit more, maybe head back to the bar, as Carrie and Radiant continue their patrol. Everyone has arrived now at Carrie's village, and things aren't as safe as they seem. There's a strange creature on the loose, which we may or may not deal with next week. Who knows?
You know.
I don't know, because I'm not going to force you to fight jack shit.
Because we make weird decisions.
I will set up situations where you have options of whether or not you fight this thing or not, and whether or not you take that options. I was totally fine with you going after the giant sapphire of I don't know what the fuck you can do with it.
Man, I still wanted
I
to do
kind
that.
of wanted you to, because I had no idea what you could do with that thing. It's too big.
If it exists.
If it even exists. It would have been hilariously too big.
I'm sure that guy was just rabidly insane.
He was kind of crazy. He did think like that space people existed if they probed him.
I feel like Maxwell kind of caught on to that with the whole extraterrestrial thing.
He is probably the only person in the world that believes in space people. Or sky people, or whatever you call what he wants to call them.
There are bird people.
There are bird people. But do they come from space? Space.
They come from another dimension.
I mean, technically they're Avens here on this planet.
Yeah,
Dominaria. There's a lot of weird humanoid races on Dominaria. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to be ending it here. After that, amazing adventures and some fun in Carrie's hometown and some drinking and some partying with both Scottish and Irishy sounding people. I hope Skyrish. I hope everybody had a great time today. I hope all of you out there are feeling great, still safe and healthy and such. Let me give a roundabout of our team and see how they're doing, where to find them for the people. Max.
Hi, I'm here.
I hear.
That was adorable.
Fish.
We do this every fucking time.
There was a while you were announcing stuff, though.
Yeah.
See?
Maybe
Yeah,
one day
and
that'll
then
be this weekend.
life happened, and we didn't play that Wednesday game for about a month. So,
True.
Life explodes.
See, I don't know. Something could come back, though, and you could then have another Wednesday game or like a.
But we're still playing it. It's whether or not it's streamed now. That's the question.
yeah, nobody can stream it because I have potato internet, and so does everyone else.
I mean, I have good internet. It's whether or not OBS will work.
Is it potato or potato?
Potato.
It is an unripe, dirty potato.
Where's so many ants?
Anyway, I'm Fish. This week you can find me at Little Caesars committing regicide.
Which king and or queen?
Caesar.
Acceptable. Is it
Are
already
you
the
gonna,
Ides of
are you
March?
gonna kill him by eating him?
No, it's Little Caesar. I'm gonna stab him a bunch of times.
Yeah, but I'm like, is it already the Ides of
I'm gonna
March?
get-
I thought you're supposed to wait for March for that kind of thing, you know?
Well, with the coronavirus, we had to push it back.
I'm waiting for him to be for et tu fish.
Yeah.
Lee.
Well, hey guys, I'm just Lee Belmont. I'm also a streamer. Recently on the stream, I've been learning how to run Majora's Mask glitchless, and that's been cool. And yeah.
Cool. Joe.
Hey, I'm Joe. You'll find me here on Tantus's channel. I'll see everyone for discussing tabletop on Saturday, and then this Sunday for the Grinding Gears finale.
Yep.
We'll see what they do now that they have 3 parts of a god to deal with.
We got some plans. We're gonna have to see how it goes. For myself, Tantanara of Dracovin, you can see me here a bunch of days during this week. If you're looking for more RPGs on the schedule, as Joe had said, Grinding Gears Sunday, 7 p.m. EST. Discussing tabletop for tabletop-related stuff on Saturday. You can always, of course, join us next week on Thursdays at 8 p.m. for more of this. Next week also, though, we should be splitting up Records of Evil and Legacies of Kain. Legacies of Kain is going to be on Tuesday. And I'm thinking, from what I've been talking about with the team, we're moving Records of Evil to Mondays, early afternoon. We haven't had a perfect time yet, either noon or 1. We'll announce it on Discord and Twitter when that exact time is. I'll try to announce it ahead of time so people know what time we're starting. We're just moving it there because we've had some issues with, scheduling on Tuesday mornings, and it's probably better to move not 2 games in a row anyway. We've lived with this long, but moving it to 2 different days sounds like a better idea. Just saying. So, yeah, Mondays should be Records of Evil, sometime in early afternoon, EST, and then at 2 p.m. on Tuesday will be Legacies of Kain. And of course, as I said, join us here next week for this one. Stay safe, stay healthy outside from that crazy thing. It's voting season. Vote. There you go.
Yeah.
It's U.S. If you're in the U.S., vote. Just do it. Just do it. All I'm saying about that one there. And, hopefully join us again next week. So, until then, farewell, everybody. Farewell.